Sometimes I think about why I choose to be a creative kind of person or like an artsy kind of person. I don't think I look like an artsy kind of person, but I really have an interest in that. And I think about why certain people are so into the arts and so into being creative and some people aren't. Because I think as humans, we all have kind of a desire to create or to be creative in just like how we started as a species as like kind of monkeys, and then now we're in like in like a modern society with all these buildings and everything. We've created so much in our short time as humans on this planet, and I think it is just a natural human thing to want to create or to want to innovate or want to do something different or to make things. But if you zoom in a bit more, they're like why do we create art? And for me in particular, I think I talked about this in one of the videos, but I I chose not to go to college so I could pursue art on my own. And I put so much, I left so much behind because of that. Now that I'm realizing it, I'm leaving all my friends behind. Not like literally, but like I've lost contact with them for a while, and obviously I can message them, but we're not talking that much anymore because obviously our lives moved on. They're going to college, and I'm going to pursue my art. And I think I'm I think when I'm in the wrong mindset, I use that as an excuse to just be lazy all day. I'm pursuing my art, that's why I'm not going to college. But in reality, you're just lazing around, and I think that's a bad thing. But now I'm questioning why I even did that. I don't know if people are just born to create art, but I know that whatever reason it was, I'm here to do that, and I've just always felt this. I don't even know how to describe it, but whenever I do create art and when I am in the process of creating art, it's like the best part of my day. It's the best part of anything. And there's really no feeling like it. Even if I kind of force myself to create art, I try a writing routine or a writing prompt. It's just it feels so right. And I think about these things now. I've read a few, I was reading Mastery by Robert Greene. I'm like on the last chapter now, I think. Yeah, I'm on the last chapter now. And I remember there was a part in the book, kind of, I don't remember what it was, but it just made me think about why you create art and how creativity is really born inside of someone. And I think I started questioning myself and I started thinking inside my head, like, am I just creating art because of the aesthetic of being an artist? Because when you scroll through Pinterest, you look at people making art and like, I want to be like that. So that could be an external reason. So do I create art because I want to look like an artist? Do I create art because of the end goal of making money from it? And I think to a certain degree, yes, because why wouldn't you? You know, it's a nice thing to enjoy the aesthetics of something, or to enjoy the idea of earning from it, but of potentially earning money from it. But I think to the core reason is something that I really don't know, and maybe it's like a life's purpose kind of thing. Your life's calling is something you don't really question. It's just something you know you have. But I'm legitimately questioning it. I'm making this video just because I want to think out loud. I don't even know if there's like this video has like a thesis statement or a point, but I'm just thinking right now, and I wanted to journal about it, but I just decided to record a video because that would be easier. I wanted to question myself, where does your art come from? Because obviously inspiration's a big thing. That's another thing. I When I create music, I think about all the music that I listen to. When I write poems, I think about all the poems that I love. Sometimes I read a poem and I write it. It motivates me. It inspires me to write something, so I write something similar to that. So when in a case such as those where you're inspired, is the art really coming from you? Well, I think it does. I think yes, even from inspiration when you're copying something or when you're stealing something, it is still art, and it just it shows your genuine interest in it. But another thing I learned about inspiration is when I was in a band. I was in a band with my best friends for a few years, and at the very beginning, we were like an alt rock kind of outfit. we'd make alt rock songs, and I just remember I always thought they were cliche, even though I kind of liked alt rock. Our songs themselves were like imitations, and they just felt like recycled chord progressions in the songs that we listened to. But as the years went on, we were only in a band for like a few years, but after a few years, we changed a lot in our music tastes, and our music became more original. What sounded to me more original. And I think as an experience, you begin by imitating, and then you eventually you find your own sound. And my point got proved when we found a new band member. We had a new drummer, and then we made him make a demo, and his demo sounded like a ripoff of another band. And I was just thinking in my head like, oh, I was right. At the beginning, you really just imitate people. And so maybe your reason for creating art is because of an artist that you love, and a kind of art style or a genre that you just love that you want to mimic or you want to recreate or you want to have a go at, you know. And I don't think that's a shameful thing to just copy and to imitate because we're all like that in the beginning, right? But aside from that, when you overcome the point where you're not really making art to imitate anymore and your art is kind of your own, you kind of just get possessed by some creative spirit inside you, or a creative spirit within your body just comes out and it's like activated and you're in the zone. And I don't know what that is. And I might be trying to find that for the rest of my life, but whatever that is, that's really what I want as an artist. And I think depending on your belief system, right? If you are a religious person, you might think that that's God. Some people say when they create art, it was just the man upstairs who made it. Or if you have a belief like I do, where you really believe in the universe, like maybe the universe wants me to create art, so it gives me these thoughts and gives me these ideas. But when you have those beliefs, it kind of takes away from you, and it makes it sound like something gave you the artwork. Like when people say that they hear things in their dreams, or they had a dream of something, then they woke up and made an art piece, or they wrote a song. Where does that really come from? You know? A few months ago, I was reading a lot of The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, and which is an amazing book, which really changed my thinking with creativity in general. And I learned that this thing called source with a capital S, and it's like some divine thing that gives you art and is the source of art, and that can be inspiration or an experience or something. And I'm looking for that. And I remember when I moved here in Japan, I stopped writing poetry for a few weeks, for a week or two. And just before moving, I was writing a lot of poetry. And then when I moved, I just stopped. And I think maybe that was just the shock of moving or trying to adjust, because I was home alone a lot. Not home alone, but I was in the house a lot, just doing nothing in my room. And I stopped writing, and I don't know why that was. And I think I look at the way that I write, and I'm kind of just a writer where there are certain points in the month that I'm very into that, and I just write more. But I really want to get back to it because I think even though you're that kind of creative person where you create in bursts, where you create a lot and then you take a long break and then you create a lot. I'm the kind of person that wants to keep creating regardless of if what I create is good. So I've been trying to get back into writing a lot, and now that when I write, it's like I don't even think. I just do I? Well, uh, that's what I said naturally, but I don't. I think I do think when you write, you do think, and when I do write poetry, I think what sounds nice to myself. So I don't really write poetry for an audience. I just write it because it's what I want to write, and I think what my that's the reason for my creativity. I know this entire video, I don't even think I said a single reason. I just wanted to talk about it honestly. And maybe the reason why we create art is because it's an escape from the world. I know I've heard that a few times. It's like an escape from reality, and I think yeah, that's got to be it, right? It does feel like an escape. It doesn't feel like real life sometimes when you're creating. But I think this is a question I'll come back to in another video when I've thought about it. But I just have no clue. and it's kind of stumps me, and it's a really interesting idea to me. Why I just choose to be creative. And yeah, sorry, this video is kind of bad. It's just me talking, but I thought I was gonna get to a point, but nah, this is like it's just me journaling out loud. Really, I think that's what I've been doing with these videos, anyways. And I couldn't really think of straight ideas or proper ideas. Couldn't think very organized. That's just how it's like an actual journal. It's kind of cool, but I want to think about this more, and I know I will. I'll read more about creativity and I'll create more. Eventually, if you just keep creating, you might find deeper things in life. I know I have. I the more I wrote poetry when I was starting, the more I got to know myself because I would write things that I didn't think I could even say, and I was just amazed by my own writing. I might sound like pretentious or like something, but I was genuinely amazed by I didn't know I could say that, and I just wrote it down naturally. Like my mind just put the words together, and I wrote about it. I just didn't think about it, and I think that's the feeling I was chasing. The feeling of I want to surprise myself with what I can say, and I want some things within me to be revealed through writing because I got to know myself like nothing else in writing. It's just a whole different thing. And yeah, I think that's all I want to say. Well, thanks for watching and keep creating. I know I will keep creating. It's the best thing we can do. See you.